My friends, let me share a powerful truth that could transform your life if you truly embrace it. You are not stuck where you are unless you decide to be. Take a moment to let that sink in. Feel the weight of these words, for they hold the key to unlocking your incredible potential and the power you possess within. So many of us go through life feeling trapped, believing we're victims of our circumstances, our past, or our perceived limitations. We look at our current situation and think, this is just how it is. This is my lot in life. But I'm here to tell you that nothing could be further from the truth. The reality is that at any moment you have the power to change your life. At any instant you can make a different choice, take a new path, and begin writing a fresh chapter in your story. The only thing holding you back is your own mind, your beliefs about what's possible for you. Now, I can almost hear some of you thinking that's easy for you to say. You don't know my situation. You don't understand the challenges I'm facing. And you're right, I don't know the specifics of your individual circumstances. But what I do know is the unlimited potential that exists within every single human being. I've witnessed the miraculous power of the human spirit to overcome adversity, to rise above circumstances, and to create beauty from ashes. I've seen it time and time again in my own life and in the lives of countless others I've had the privilege of working with. So when I say you're not stuck unless you decide to be, I'm not dismissing your struggles or challenges. I'm not saying it's always easy to change your life. What I am saying is you always have a choice. Always. Even in the darkest, most difficult moments, you have the power to choose your response, to choose your attitude, to choose the meaning you give to what's happening. And those choices, my friends, are the first steps on the path to transforming your entire life. Let's dig deeper into why we so often feel stuck. Why do we convince ourselves that we have no choice, no power to change our circumstances? There are several reasons for this. First, we're creatures of habit. Our brains are wired to seek comfort and familiarity, even if that familiarity isn't serving us well. We get used to certain patterns of thinking and ways of living, and even if we're not happy, a part of us resists change simply because it's what we know. It's like living in a house with a leaky roof. But we've gotten so accustomed to putting out buckets when it rains that we forget we could actually fix the roof. Second, we often carry limiting beliefs about ourselves and what's possible for us. These beliefs usually stem from our past experiences, our upbringing, and the messages we've received from others. Maybe you were told as a child that you weren't smart enough or talented enough. Perhaps you faced setbacks or failures that have shaken your confidence. Whatever the source, these limiting beliefs act like invisible chains, holding us back from reaching our full potential. They whisper in our ear, you can't do that. You're not good enough. Who do you think you are to want more? And if we listen to those voices, if we accept those limiting beliefs as truth, then guess what? We stay stuck. We fulfill our own negative prophecies. The third reason we often feel stuck is fear. Fear of the unknown, fear of failure, and even fear of success. Change requires us to step out of our comfort zone, to take risks, to face the possibility of failure, and that can be scary. It's much easier, much safer, to stay where we are, even if where we are isn't where we want to be. But here's the thing about fear. It's usually based on illusions, on stories we tell ourselves about what might happen. Most of the things we fear never actually come to pass. And even when challenges do arise, we're usually far more capable of handling them than we give ourselves credit for. Now that we understand some of the reasons we feel stuck, let's talk about how we can overcome that feeling and tap into our power to change our lives. The first step is awareness. You have to become aware of the thoughts, beliefs, and habits that are keeping you. Start paying attention to the stories you tell yourself about your life and what's possible for you. Notice when you use phrases like, I can't, I'm not good enough, or that's just how it is. These are red flag signals that you're operating from a place of limitation rather than possibility. Once you become aware of these patterns, you can start to question them. Are they really true, or are they just assumptions you've never challenged? The next step is to start making different choices. Remember, every moment is an opportunity for a new decision. You don't have to make massive, life-altering choices right away. Start small. Choose to respond differently. Choose to take one small action towards a goal you've been putting off. Choose to speak to yourself with kindness instead of criticism. These small choices may not seem like much in the moment, but they add up. They create momentum. They start to shift your energy and your perspective. As you make these different choices, you'll start to see evidence that change is possible. And that evidence will fuel your confidence to make bigger changes. Another crucial step is to cultivate a vision for your life. If you're not stuck, if anything is possible, what do you want? What kind of life do you want to create? What impact do you want to have on the world? Allow yourself to dream big here. Don't censor yourself or worry about how you'll make it happen. Just connect with what truly lights you up, what fills you with excitement and purpose. This vision will become your North Star, guiding you forward even when the path isn't clear. Now, I want to address something important here. When I say you're not stuck unless you decide to be, I'm not suggesting that external circumstances don't matter. Of course they do. We all face real challenges and obstacles in life. Some of us face more than others due to systemic inequalities and injustices. I'm not dismissing those realities. What I am saying is that regardless of your external circumstances, you always have the power to choose your internal risk. You always have the power to take some kind of action, however small, towards the life you want. Even in the most difficult circumstances, there are always choices available to us. Sometimes those choices are simply in how we think about our situation, the meaning we give to it. Viktor Frankl, who survived the Nazi concentration camp, said, "Everything can be taken from a man but one thing. The last of the human freedoms, to choose one's attitude in any given set of circumstances, to choose one's own way." That's the kind of inner freedom I'm talking about. No matter what's happening around you, you always have the freedom to choose your response. And it's in that choice that your power lies. Let's talk about some practical strategies for getting unstuck and creating the life you want. The first is to clarify your values. What's most important to you? What do you stand for? When you're clear on your values, decision-making becomes much easier. You can ask yourself, does this choice align with my values? If it does, move towards it. If it doesn't, move away from it. Living in alignment with your values brings a sense of authenticity and purpose that is incredibly freeing. Another powerful strategy is to surround yourself with positive, supportive people. Jim Rohn famously said that we are the average of the 5 people we spend the most time with. So take a look at your circle. Are the people around you encouraging you to grow, to reach for your dreams? Or are they reinforcing limiting beliefs and negative patterns? Seek out relationships that inspire and challenge you to be your best self. Find mentors. Join supportive communities. Distance yourself from toxic influences. Your environment has a huge impact on your mindset and your ability to create positive change in your life. Next, commit to lifelong learning and personal growth. The moment we stop learning is the moment we start dying. Read books that expand your mind and challenge your assumptions. Take courses or workshops in areas that interest you. Try new experiences that push you out of your comfort zone. As you grow in knowledge and experience, you'll discover new possibilities for your life that you never even imagined before. Another crucial element in getting unstuck is taking care of your physical and mental health. It's hard to create positive change in your life if you're running on empty. Make sure you're getting enough sleep, eating nourishing food, and moving your body regularly. Practice stress management techniques like meditation or deep breathing. Take time for activities that rejuvenate you, whether that's spending time in nature, creating art, or connecting with loved ones. When you feel good physically and mentally, you have more energy and resilience to tackle life's challenges and pursue your goals. Now let's talk about the power of gratitude. It might seem counterintuitive, but cultivating gratitude for what you already have is actually one of the most powerful ways to create positive change in your life. Why? Because gratitude shifts your focus from what's lacking to what's abundant in your life. It opens your eyes to the opportunities and blessings that are already present. And when you're in that state of appreciation and abundance, you're much more likely to notice and act on new opportunities as they arise. So make gratitude a daily practice. Each day, take a few moments to reflect on what you're thankful for. It could be something as simple as a warm cup of coffee or a beautiful sunset or something more profound like a supportive relationship or a meaningful accomplishment. As you cultivate this practice, you'll find your entire perspective shifting. You'll start to see possibilities where before you only saw obstacles. Another powerful tool for getting unstuck is visualization. Your mind is an incredibly powerful instrument, and it doesn't actually distinguish between what you vividly imagine and what you experience in the physical world. So use this to your advantage. Regularly visualize yourself living the life you want, achieving your goals, being the person you aspire to be. Feel the emotions associated with that vision. The more real you can make it in your mind, the more you're priming your subconscious to look for opportunities to make that vision a reality. Now, I want to address something that often comes up when we talk about creating change in our lives, the idea of realistic goals. How many times have you heard someone say, be realistic, or that's not a realistic goal? While there's certainly value in setting achievable milestones, I want to challenge you to question your definition of realistic. Throughout history, the greatest achievements, the most revolutionary changes, have come from people who dared to pursue what others deemed unrealistic. The Wright brothers pursuing manned flight, Martin Luther King Jr. dreaming of racial equality, Steve Jobs envisioning a computer in every home. All of these were considered unrealistic dreams at one point. So I encourage you to dream big. Set goals that excite you, that scare you a little bit. Because here's the truth, you're capable of far more than you realize. And often it's in pursuing those unrealistic goals that we discover just how much we're truly capable of. Let's talk about the role of failure in getting unstuck and creating the life you want. So many of us stay stuck because we're afraid of failing. But failure is not the opposite of success. It's a crucial part of success. Every setback, every failure is actually an opportunity to learn, to grow, to refine our approach. Thomas Edison, when asked about his many failed attempts to create the light bulb, said, "I have not failed. I've just found 10,000 ways that won't." That's the mindset of a true innovator, of someone who refuses to be stuck. So I encourage you to reframe your relationship with failure. See it not as an ending, but as a stepping stone. Embrace it as valuable feedback that's guiding you towards your goals. When you remove the fear of failure, you remove one of the biggest obstacles to creating positive change in your life. Another important aspect of getting unstuck is learning to live in the present moment. So often, we get trapped in regrets about the past or anxieties about the future. But the truth is, the only moment we ever really have is this one right now. The past is gone. The future isn't here yet. All of your power exists in the present moment. So practice being fully present in your life. When you're eating, just eat. When you're listening to someone, really listen. When you're working on a task, give it your full attention. This level of presence not only enhances your enjoyment of life, but it also makes you far more effective in whatever you're doing. And it allows you to spot opportunities for positive change that you might otherwise miss if you're constantly distracted by thoughts of the past or future. Now, I want to touch on the importance of service and contribution in creating a fulfilling life. Often, when we feel stuck, we're very focused on ourselves, our problems, our limitations, our fears. But one of the most powerful ways to get unstuck is to shift your focus to how you can serve others, how you can contribute to the world around you. When you focus on adding value to others' lives, a few powerful things happen. First, it gives you a sense of purpose and meaning that goes beyond your own personal concerns. Second, it helps you to realize how much you have to offer, which boosts your confidence and self-esteem. And third, it often opens up new opportunities and connections that can lead you in exciting new directions. How can I use my unique gifts and talents to make a positive difference in the world? How can I be of service to others? As you lean into this mindset of contribution, you'll likely find that your own problems start to feel less overwhelming and new paths forward will begin to reveal themselves. Another crucial element in creating positive change in your life is developing emotional intelligence. This means becoming aware of your emotions, understanding what triggers them, and learning how to manage them effectively. When we're ruled by our emotions, especially negative ones like fear, anger, or resentment, it's very easy to feel stuck. But when we learn to observe our emotions without being controlled by them, we gain a tremendous amount of freedom and power. We can choose our responses rather than just reacting. We can see situations more clearly and make better decisions. So work on developing your emotional intelligence. Practice observing your emotions without judgment. Learn techniques for managing stress and difficult feeling. As you become more emotionally intelligent, you'll find it much easier to navigate life's challenges and create the changes you want to see. Now let's talk about the power of your words. The language you use, both in your self-talk and in your communication with others, has a profound impact on your reality. Words are not just descriptors of reality. They actually help to create reality. When you constantly tell yourself, "I'm stuck," or "I can't do this," you're reinforcing those beliefs and making them more true for you. On the other hand, when you use empowering language, when you speak about yourself and your life in positive, possibility-oriented terms, you begin to shift your reality. You open yourself up to new opportunities. So pay attention to your words. Are they keeping you stuck, or are they propelling you forward? Choose to use language that affirms your power, your potential, your ability to create positive change in your life. Another powerful strategy for getting unstuck is to take consistent, inspired action. Notice I said inspired action, not just action for the sake of action. When you're aligned with your values and your vision, when you're coming from a place of inspiration rather than obligation, your actions have so much more power. They create momentum. They open doors. They attract synchronicities and opportunities. What inspired action can I take today towards my goals? It doesn't have to be big. Maybe it's making one phone call, or writing one page of that book you've been wanting to write, or spending 15 minutes researching a new skill you want to learn. The key is consistency. Small actions taken consistently over time lead to massive results. Now, I want to address something that often comes up when we talk about personal growth and creating change in our lives. The idea of self-love and self-acceptance. Some people worry that if they fully accept themselves as they are, they'll lose their motivation to grow and change. But the truth is, real. Lasting change can only come from a foundation of self-acceptance and self-love. Think about it. If you're constantly criticizing yourself, constantly feeling like you're not good enough, how much energy do you have left for positive change? On the other hand, when you accept yourself fully, when you treat yourself with kindness and compassion, you create a safe space for growth. You give yourself permission to take risks, to make mistakes, to learn and evolve. So practice self-love. Treat yourself with the same kindness and understanding that you would offer to a dear friend. Celebrate your strengths, acknowledge your progress, no matter how small. As you cultivate this loving relationship with yourself, you'll find that change becomes much easier and more natural. Another important aspect of getting unstuck is learning to trust your intuition. I have an inner wisdom, a gut feeling that often knows what's best for us. But in our busy, noisy world, it's easy to lose touch with that inner voice. We get caught up in what we think we should do in other people's expectations, in societal norms. And when we ignore our intuition, we often end up feeling. So start paying attention to your intuition. In moments of quiet, ask yourself what feels right, what feels true for you. When you're making decisions, check in with your gut feeling. The more you practice listening to and trusting your intuition, the stronger and clearer it will become. And it will guide you towards the choices and actions that are truly right for you. Now let's talk about the power of forgiveness in getting unstuck. So often we remain stuck because we're holding on to resentments, grudges, or anger, whether towards others or ourselves. These negative emotions act like anchors, keeping us tethered to the past and preventing us from moving forward. Forgiveness is the key to cutting those ties and freeing ourselves to create the life we want. Understand that forgiveness doesn't mean condoning harmful actions or forgetting what happened. It's not about the other person at all. It's about freeing yourself from the burden of carrying that negativity. When you forgive, You're choosing to release the hold that past hurts have on you. You're choosing your own peace and freedom over the temporary satisfaction of holding on to anger. This applies to self-forgiveness too. Many of us are harder on ourselves than we ever would be on others. We hold on to guilt and shame over past mistakes, believing that punishing ourselves will somehow make things right. But the truth is, self-forgiveness is essential for growth and positive change. It allows you to learn from your mistakes without being defined by them. So practice forgiveness of others and of yourself. It's not always easy, but it's one of the most powerful things you can do to get unstuck and move forward in your life. Another crucial element in creating positive change is developing a growth mindset. This concept, popularized by psychologist Carol Dweck, is about believing that your abilities and intelligence can be developed through effort, learning, and persistence. It's the opposite of a fixed mindset, which sees abilities as innate and unchangeable. When you have a growth mindset, you see challenges as opportunities to learn and grow rather than threats to your self-image. You're more likely to persist in the face of setbacks because you believe that with effort and the right strategies, you can improve. This mindset is incredibly empowering because it puts you in control of your own development and success. So how do you cultivate a growth mindset? Start by becoming aware of your self-talk. When you face a challenge, do you tell yourself, I can't do this, or I can't do this yet? That little word yet makes a huge difference. It acknowledges that while you might not have the skills or knowledge right now, you have the potential to develop them. Embrace challenges instead of avoiding them. See effort as the path to mastery, not as something to be avoided. Learn from criticism instead of ignoring it. Find lessons and inspiration in the success of others rather than feeling threatened by it. As you cultivate these habits of thought, you'll find yourself becoming more resilient, more adaptable, and more capable of creating the changes you want to see in your life. Now, let's talk about the importance of taking responsibility for your life. This is a crucial step in getting unstuck because as long as you're blaming others or external circumstances for your situation, you're giving away your power. You're essentially saying, I can't change things because it's not up to me. Taking responsibility doesn't mean blaming yourself or denying the impact of external factors. It simply means acknowledging that regardless of what has happened to you, you are responsible for how you respond. You are responsible for your choices, your actions, your attitude. And in taking that responsibility, you reclaim your power to create change. This shift in perspective can be incredibly liberating. Instead of feeling like a victim of circumstances, you start to see yourself as the author of your own life story. You realize that while you can't control everything that happens to you, you always have control over your response. And in that response lies your power to shape your life. Another powerful strategy for getting unstuck is to cultivate curiosity. Curiosity is like a superpower when it comes to personal growth and creating change in your life. When you're curious, you're open to new ideas, new perspectives, new possibilities. You ask questions, you explore, you experiment. All of these behaviors naturally lead to growth and change. Curiosity also helps to combat fear and anxiety. When you're facing a challenge or considering a big change, it's easy to get caught up and worry about what might go wrong. But if you can shift into a state of curiosity, I wonder what will happen if I try this? What could I learn from this experience? You move from a place of fear to a place of openness. So cultivate curiosity in your daily life. Ask questions. Try new things. Look at familiar situations from new angles. As you do, you'll find yourself naturally expanding your horizons and discovering new paths forward. Now, I want to touch on the power of community in creating positive change in your life. While personal growth is, personal, we are not meant to go through life alone. Having a supportive community around, you can make a huge difference in your ability to get unstuck and create the life you want. A good community provides encouragement when you're facing challenges. It offers different perspectives that can help you see your situation in new ways. It provides accountability to help you stay on track with your goals. And perhaps, most importantly, it reminds you that you're not alone in your struggles or your dreams. So seek out communities that align with your values and goals. This could be a formal group like a mastermind or a support group, or it could be more informal, a circle of friends who share your interests and aspirations. Engage with these communities. Share your challenges and your victories. Offer support to others. As you do, you'll find that you're not just receiving support for your own journey, but you're also contributing to the growth and success of others. And that in itself can be incredibly fulfilling and motivating. Let's talk now about the importance of patience and persistence in creating lasting change. In our instant gratification culture, it's easy to get discouraged if we don't see immediate results from our efforts. But meaningful change takes time. It's not about dramatic overnight transformations. It's about consistent small steps in the right direction. Think about it like this. If you're trying to get in shape, you don't expect to see significant changes after one workout. You know it takes consistent effort over time. The same is true for any kind of personal growth or life change. Each small action you take, each positive choice you make, is like a deposit in the bank of your future. It might not seem like much in the moment, but over time, those deposits add up to significant change. So be patient with yourself. Celebrate the small victories along the way. And most importantly, persist. Keep taking those small steps. Keep making those positive choices, even when you don't see immediate results. Just trust in the process. Know that as long as you keep moving in the right direction, you will eventually reach your destination. Now, I want to address something that often comes up when we talk about personal growth and creating change: the idea of balance. Sometimes, in our enthusiasm to create positive change, we can become overly focused on one area of our lives at the expense of others. But true fulfillment comes from creating a life that's balanced and harmonious across all areas. Think about the different aspects of your life: your health, your relationships, your career, your personal growth, your spiritual life, your leisure time. How much attention are you giving to each of these areas? Are some thriving while others are neglected? Remember, you're not just trying to improve one aspect of your life. You're trying to create a life that feels fulfilling and meaningful as a whole. So as you work on getting unstuck and creating positive change, regularly check in with yourself to ensure you're maintaining balance. It's okay if some areas take precedence at certain times. But overall, strive for a sense of harmony and balance in your life. Another powerful tool for creating positive change is the practice of mindfulness. Mindfulness is about being fully present in the moment, aware of your thoughts and feelings without getting caught up in them or judging them. This practice can be incredibly powerful in helping you get unstuck, because it allows you to observe your habitual thought patterns and behaviors from a place of non-judgmental awareness. When you're mindful, you're better able to notice when you're falling into negative patterns of thought or behavior. You can catch yourself before you go down the rabbit hole of negative self-talk or unproductive worry. You can make more conscious choices about how you want to respond to situations rather than just reacting on autopilot. Mindfulness also helps you to be more aware of the opportunities for positive change that exist in each moment. When you're fully present, you're more likely to notice and appreciate the good things in your life. You're more attuned to your intuition and inner wisdom, and you're better able to align your actions with your values and goals. So incorporate mindfulness into your daily life. This doesn't mean you need to sit in meditation for hours, although that can be beneficial. It can be as simple as taking a few deep breaths and bringing your full attention to what you're doing, whether that's eating a meal, having a conversation, or working on a task. The more you practice being present and aware, the more natural it will become, and the more it will support you in creating positive change in your life. Now let's talk about the power of creativity in getting unstuck. Often when we feel stuck, it's because we're approaching our problems or challenges in the same old ways. We're stuck in habitual patterns of thinking and behaving. Creativity is the key to breaking out of these patterns and finding new solutions. Creativity isn't just about artistic expression, although that can certainly be part of it. It's about thinking outside the box, approaching situations from new angles, being willing to experiment. When you engage your creativity, You open yourself up to new possibilities that you might not have seen before. So how can you cultivate creativity in your life? Try new things. Engage in activities that challenge you to think differently. This could be anything from taking up a new hobby to solving puzzles to having conversations with people who have different perspectives. When you're facing a challenge, brainstorm wild solutions. Don't censor yourself, just let the ideas flow. You might be surprised at the innovative solutions you come up with when you let your creativity run free. Remember, the goal here isn't to be perfect or to create masterpieces. It's to engage in the process of creative thinking and doing. As you do, you'll find yourself becoming more flexible in your thinking, more open to new possibilities, and more capable of finding innovative solutions to the challenges in your life. In conclusion, my friends, remember this: you are not stuck unless you decide to be. You have within you an incredible power to create change, to shape your life, to write your own story. It's not always easy, and it doesn't happen overnight. But with awareness, with courage, with persistence, and with the strategies we've discussed today, you can break free from whatever is holding you back and create the life you truly desire. Starting today, decide not to be stuck. Decide to take one small step towards the life you want. Decide to believe in your own potential for growth and change. Decide to be the author of your own life story. Because when you make that decision, when you truly embrace your power to create change, there's no limit to what you can achieve. The future is yours to create. So go out there and create something beautiful.